Okay, so my name is Jennifer Aldridge. I have been a Zumba instructor and enthusiast for almost 10 years. At one time, I was also a Beachbody Live instructor, specializing in PYO. And the reason why I'm doing this series of videos is because at some point, about 3.5 years ago, it became very apparent to me that being a fitness instructor and mentoring hundreds of people, which I have throughout the last several years, it just is not enough. People are searching for the answer of what it's going to take to make them their healthiest, happiest self. And everybody has a different reason. Some people want to fit into the perfect dress for an event or their skinny jeans. Some people want to have the energy to chase their kids around and play in the yard or just to get through the day. And some people are literally fighting for their lives. Over the years, many people have come to me for advice. And I'm a little bit ashamed to say that I didn't always know what that right advice should be. But part of growth in your life is being able to find it within yourself and open your mind to the possibilities and what is going to make you most healthy and most happy. And that came to a head for me about 3.5 years ago. I'm going to be real and honest in these videos. And while sometimes being so transparent is hard for me to do, as a health coach and a mentor to so many people, our world needs more transparency. It needs less of the fake and more of the real. Because the truth is, all of us are human. We all are perfectly imperfect, just like God made us. And we all ultimately want to be healthy and happy. And we want that for our families, for our children. They deserve it so badly. Often, as a parent, I know that I am the only example of health and happiness, the most important one that they have. About 3.5 years ago, I realized that even though I was a Zumba instructor and at that time taught 5 to 6 fitness classes a week, on top of working full-time, I realized that although I seemed like the picture of health, I was modeling some very unhealthy habits for my children. I had a host of health problems. On the outside, maybe I looked fit. I had some areas to tone. If you've had a baby, you probably have had areas to tone. I now have 3 children. And during that time, some of the things that I thought were helping me were actually my biggest downfall. And I didn't realize it until I lost my ability to breathe. I'm not being dramatic. At 35 years of age, I was diagnosed with asthma because they didn't know what else to call it. I couldn't breathe. it seemed like I was allergic to everything. My lungs were constantly full of mucus and fluid. I would cough it up hundreds of times a day. I had a work bag and a purse overflowing with cough drops. I had a bag that had all kinds of decongestants, allergy meds, inhalers. And while I was a busy mom trying to keep it all together, had a good career, and a fitness following, I was miserable. I was absolutely miserable. When I looked in the mirror, I hated what I saw, and I didn't know what to do. And on top of that, I literally couldn't get through the day without struggling to breathe, coughing. The worst were in staff meetings, when sometimes, embarrassingly, I would have to walk out. And sometimes when, actually most of the time, my asthma was also induced by exercise. And so after a fitness class, sometimes people want to stand around and talk to me and pick my brain and just connect. But I wasn't able to do that because I had to go out to my car and start hacking up a lung. My life was not full. I mean, you would think if you have 2 beautiful children and a career and a home and friends, that everything would be perfect, but it wasn't. I was very unhealthy. So, after a miscarriage and continuing lung problems, I knew that whatever I was doing wasn't working. Some of the things I did I was also clinically overweight, but that wasn't really the crux of my problem. But still, I just didn't have the energy that I thought I should have. So I would take all kinds of supplements. You've probably heard of I'm not going to say it by name, but you've probably heard of the stores that sell you protein shakes that are flavored like dessert, or teas that are supposed to help you boost your metabolism. You do those instead of eating meals. They have bars. That's what I existed off of, that and lean cuisine. So I would drink these shakes, eat bars that were snacks. All the food I ate was low fat, fat-free, or low calorie. Essentially, my body was starved of nutrients, and that's why I believe so strongly that I had the health problems that I did, and why at that time I could not maintain a pregnancy. And so about 3.5 years ago, I connected with a coach. Her name is Lauren Fitzgerald, and you've all seen me post her videos on the page. I saw that she was a medical doctor who had started helping people figure out what was wrong in their nutrition and how to fix that. I reached out to her, or rather, she reached out to me first, because we had met years ago. She's a dance fitness instructor, and we had met when I took a master class from her, and had several little chat conversations over the years about health and just dance. I really admired her spirit. And so I reached out to her, and when I was ready, and the things that I learned in the group that she had about nutrition changed my life. And from that point forward, all I wanted to do was share that with the people I love, whether it be my family, people who take my fitness classes, and now people who I privately coach. what I will tell you is this. The reason I'm participating in the high fat, low carb test group, and the reason why this is so important now, is because you can work out as much as you want for as long as you want. But until you get your nutrition under control, you will never make the progress that you need. It is so difficult for people in America to grasp the concept that the low-fat, fat-free diet foods that we're consuming and supplements are slowly killing us. Our soil is depleted from years of genetic engineering. And while you may think I'm sounding kooky and sciencey, since day one of eating a high-fat, low-carb, moderate protein, whole foods-based diet with no artificial foods, frankenfoods is what we call them, whatsoever, I have never taken another medication. My lungs are clear. I'm in the best shape of my life. I'm 40 years old, and I can run circles around the 20-year-old me. And last year, I had a beautiful baby girl at nearly 40. You can have the life and the health that you want, and you don't have to be on a diet, and you don't have to count your calories, and you don't have to be a prisoner of your health. You can change all of these things. But it's up to you to take the knowledge and education and take control. And that's what we have done here. Over the next 12 weeks, we're going to prove that you can truly heal your body with food. And I'll leave you with this. The food that you consume every day, everything you consume in your body is a choice. What it takes for you to be successful in health and fitness, it's not one major decision you make. It is a series of tiny daily decisions. Everything we put in our mouths is a choice. And the food that you are consuming is doing one of two things. It's either healing your body and helping it function, or it is destroying you. I don't know about you, but I want to be over here. Let me teach you.